Okay, so I've just finished reading the Snip white paper. Why have I spent some time reading that white paper? Well, basically, I believe that one of the use cases, one of the very few use cases I can see for cryptocurrencies, is a means for rewarding or compensating a whole bunch of people, millions of people, that spend their time on social media sites like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, etc., for all that they provide and all the value and content they provide to these websites. So, Snip is the latest contender in this space, and I've just done looking at their white paper. So I'm just going to quickly summarize the white paper before I head out, just what I remember from it and what I think is missing from it, and just give my views on ICOs generally. So Snip aims to be a decentralized user-generated news site. Yeah, so the white paper starts off talking about the current state of play. I think they go on for pages, but it could be summarized in a couple of sentences, which is that if you're not Facebook and you're not Google, the ad revenue model is likely not working for you in the current space. So what does Snip plan to do about it? They plan to offer a decentralized platform on which users can post their content. So the platform is a website, and the content is stored on the IPFS network. And that's about the sum total what they tell you about the actual technicals. And they have a coin which is basically just used as a way of incentivizing people to use the platform. They talk a little bit about the coin's distribution. So they see it primarily being distributed, well, the website's growth. They see the website growing through referrals. So they see that if you refer people to the site, you will get rewarded in their coin. They think that token holders will just promote the site. And they also talk a little bit about having an algorithm that can work out what content is likely to go viral, and then encouraging people to post on that kind of content. They talk a little bit about their business model. Having spent pages talking about how it's broken, their business model seems pretty traditional. So subscriptions, they aim to offer a premium service to people that want it. And the example that they give, and I think is live at the moment, is that you can have audio versions of the content on the site. And yeah, I think it's for people on the go. So subscriptions is the first one. The second one is tipping. I don't think I need to say too much about tipping other than it's not unique. Anyone can tip pretty much anywhere at any time, and you don't need a platform to enable you to do that. And also this platform takes 3% of the tip given to you. Well, the company does, Snip company. And then the third is advertising. So they are hoping to generate a whole bunch of revenue via advertising, and lucky users, your advertising will be specifically targeted to you. Yeah, we all love advertising, not. But you can, for a further subscription, or I don't know whether it's including subscription, get an ad-free version of the site. So that's basically their business model. The coin, they are planning to have 10 billion coins in total. It is a ERC20 token. The 28% will be issued in the crowd sale that's happening in a couple of days. 28% of the coins will be issued there, and they're aiming to raise between 800,000 and 8 million US dollars. So I think 8 million means that the whole 28% have been taken up. I think it's 1 ether per 350k Snip coins. So yeah, not cheap. So that's it. 28% of the coins are going to go into this ICO. 20% of the coins are 30% of the coins are reserved for future ICOs. 20% of the coins go into some sort of contributor rewards pool, and 20% of the coins go to the Snip company, and then I don't know how full coins go to whoever. They talk a little bit about their roadmap. They talk a little bit about competitors, blah blah blah. So that's kind of a summation of the white paper. What's missing from this white paper? Number one, they assume everybody knows what IPFS is. If they don't, I mean, the little I understand about IPFS is that it's run on nodes. And these obviously decentralized nodes, but they need to be compensated for hosting your content. And what they don't explain is how the system will compensate those holders. Now, what percentage will go to the node operators? It's just not explained how it will work. How will it scale? You know, how many users will it scale to? So it's just really vague on the technicals of how that part of it's going to work. And given that's the backbone of it, disappointing. Also, the incentives. I'm not really sure how the incentives are seen to work. So, as a investor, why would I invest in this? What benefits am I getting beyond speculation and being able to flip it and potentially thinking that it might take off and holding it might hold some value? But even those assumptions are not even spelled out in the white paper. But what value is there to investors? Users and content providers, it's a similar type thing. You know, they talk about this rewards pool. They talk about a certain amount. I think it's 15 million coins being issued on a weekly basis. So of that 20% is like 15 million over a weekly basis over 5 years, and I think it decreases every week. So they talk about how that's going to work, but they don't talk about how it's going to be allocated. Who gets what? You know, hopefully there's going to be lots of people posting on this site. You know, how is it going to be decided? Is it by votes? So is it by likes? Is it by some more subjective matter? If it's by likes, then it's about how can people sign up, and then how do they prevent civil attacks? You know, how do they stop people from gaming the system? No, that's the bread and butter of creating a social media site which has economic incentives, is how do you stop people gaming it. They haven't talked about none of that in their white paper, which is a big omission as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, as a content provider, I'll be like, well, how am I actually going to make money? Am I just relying on goodwill here? You know, I don't know what's working. So users, I mean, they talk about personalized content, but let's be honest, any website worth its salt, news outlet, is looking at personalizing the user experience. It's the buzzword now, it's happening everywhere. You know, social media sites already personalize user experience. There's nothing major or big on that score. So for users, you're really just going there for good content, so they better have it on there. Advertisers, again, you know, that really just comes with users. But yeah, they also talk about potentially people who could become trusted feeds, so can do the sorting from the wheat from the chaff. But again, it doesn't talk about how they will be compensated and what percentage will go to them. So all the kind of breakdowns of how it all works and the economics of the ecosystem haven't really been gone into much detail. So yeah, those are the two major reservations that I have. Basically a lack of meaningful detail as to how it's going to work. But yeah, they will still ask for a whole bunch of money up front, and then I guess they'll figure it out once they've got the cash, right? So this is why I'm not really a fan of this ICO model, because it's too easy for people. And again, this is not a dig at the Snap team. I don't know what they're made of, but it's too easy for people to just to create an ICO, and then the benefits of doing it, the barrier to entries are very low, and the benefits of doing it are very high. So all you need to do to create an ICO is get a token, preferably an ERC20 token on the Ethereum network. 2, have a fancy website. 3, have an idea. Ideas are a dime a dozen. 4, be able to articulate those ideas in a paper, call it a white paper. And then 5, it's really about how much money do you want to invest in promoting and marketing your ICO, and that will probably determine how much revenue you make. And it is potentially, so you can throw 50, 100k at it, and you could potentially have returns in the millions, you know, because right now there's a bit of a bubble in terms of ICOs, and I'm not sure there's much scrutiny going on because people buying the ICOs are primarily looking to flip them from a profit on the markets. So it's almost a win-win for everybody. So the people generating the ICOs make money. So even if they've got projects, they get good funding for their project, and that's great. If they haven't really got a project, they can make hay with millions of dollars. The people buying the tokens are basically gambling that they can flip those on the market for a profit. And the person that loses out is the person who's left holding the bag at the end of it, right? And so everyone's saying, "Oh, that's not going to be me. Well, I'm gonna." Yeah. So it's that kind of fair at the moment, and it's really bringing down the tone of the whole crypto market, in my view, because it's just seen as an area of beginning to be seen as an area for chances rather than an area of genuine growth and interest. If you've got a real good product, it really doesn't take that much money to get it off the ground, and then the proof will be in the quality of the project. So yeah, I'm not a fan of ICOs, and even if you've got a great idea and you've got you put out a white paper, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have the cojones or the team to deliver on that idea. You know, so I haven't even got into that with the Snip one. I haven't looked at who they are, what their credentials are, and even if it's a good idea, can they actually deliver what they say they're going to deliver? And so that's where we are at the moment with cryptocurrency. I think we're just going to have to ride out the spate of ICOs. I think a few more people are going to have to get burnt, unfortunately, in this space before they realise that, why would you give away your money to somebody just on a promise that they're going to deliver something, and without any kind of hard evidence of what they have done in the past, or any guarantees on your money that you're giving across to them. So yeah, that's my view on Snip, a little bit of my view on ICOs, and I'm going to head out, so peace.